Hi and welcome to my channel. Over the past couple of weeks, I've just taken some time off, been getting a barrage of messages coming through, and I had to work out which bits were for what, because if I put it all together, it would be an 8-hour reading, and that's obviously not what I want and not what you want to listen to either. So I've decided, because I was called to a deck of cards, an oracle deck that I created back in 2024 in the 888 portal, or for the 888 portal, and I was called to these 8 cards. And so I'm going to use these cards and see what messages that I can pull through for these cards in and around, or to complement the other messages that I have been receiving. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. All of my messages are timeless. Whenever you stumble across it, you were meant to find it. I'm also an illustrator, so all of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs. As I said, these were ones that I created back in 2024. Angel of Light, Angel of Freedom on the backs of all of them. So all of the cards you see are available. If you're called to any of them, you can find the links to them in the description box. So the theme around this reading, or series of readings, is 8, the number 8. And the significance of it at play at the moment in all of these signs and symbols that I've been getting. As I said, so many that I've had to pull them apart and pop them in 8 separate readings. So I'm going to give you the names of these cards just to give you a bit of background, and then I'm going to give you the songs that I was getting. So first of all, we've got spirituality. We've got bloom, light worker, event horizon, infinity, kaleidoscope, Venus, and chosen. And I'm just being called, I'm actually going to pop a rune. They kind of look the same on each of them. I don't know why, but that's what I was called to do. And hopefully I can draw some more messages through. So we've got 8 piles, and it's all pulling through the symbolism of the number 8, which is sideways infinity symbol. It's also the trajectory of the sun. It's also 8 people on the arc, because all of the readings in the lead up to, actually the readings probably for the last 6 to 8 months, have been in and around the people that you are on your journey with, the themes within the journey that you've been on, connecting with our soul tribe, or new people that are meant to be on your journey as part of what has been called the Great Reset, which is when at the end of February, 20th, 21st of February, Saturn, which is your karmic teacher, and Neptune join up for the first time since 4361 BC at 0 degrees of Aries. It's being called the Great Reset. And if you think about the themes of Noah's Ark, the world flooded, and it was a great reset, a new beginning for humanity. We're also in a 20-year Pluto and Aquarius transit, which brings about revolutionary change, huge, big things happening. If you go back in history, the American Revolution, the French Revolution, massive change through history. And it's happening right now. And then in July this year, the North Node, which is our collective point of destiny, goes into Aquarius for 18 months, pulling through that energy of power to the people, 8 people on the ark, power to the people. Based on the work that you've done, where are you now headed? So the songs that I was getting, and the main one, I kept hearing hello, 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 and I couldn't work out what it's the start of a song. And then it dawned on me, it was How Far We've Come by Matchbox 20. And in the beginning of the song, that's what he says, hello, hello, hello. And it's about, I believe the world is coming to an end, I think, are the lyrics. And not necessarily an end, but an end of this cycle. And I want to say an end of the cycle of power. And whether it is political power or individually people having power over you. So the other songs that I was getting have been songs that have been coming through for probably 18 months on repeat. And it's just dawned on me that they are all relevant Well, not all of them, but a majority of them are relevant to what's at play at the moment. So the first one was Wuthering Heights. Now, the specific image on the song, and I'll put all the songs in the description box, the specific image for the album cover of that song is volcanoes on fire. I got Come to My Window, Melissa Etheridge. I've been getting that song for years and years. I always put my songs on random shuffle because there's messages in songs that repeat. And I only just watched the Wuthering Heights movie on Netflix, an older one, because obviously the new movie with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie comes out on the 12th of February, which is kind of within this week of this great reset. And Come to My Window pulls in that theme of kind of a separation between two people, a separation between the past and the future. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, I've been getting for so long. And again, it's playing at the cinemas at the moment. So it's currently playing, and Wuthering Heights is just about to play. Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash, which pulls in this kind of end of the world, massive volcanoes. I think over the last couple of months, we've seen huge, big eruptions in the Ring of Fire. I'll Be Your Mirror, The Velvet Underground, which pulls in that Neptune energy of, you know, something surfacing. But as part of a spiritual awakening, you literally have to look yourself in the mirror to bring yourself out of the illusion. The kaleidoscope, what are you looking at? Or what lens have you been looking through? A Great Day for Freedom, that's from the Pink Floyd album, Division Bell. Lunar Eclipse, which is part of one of the readings that I'm doing on the eclipses and the themes around the eclipses. Walking into Freedom, Harriet. That's from the movie Harriet. She was known as the Black Moses. So it's this theme of walking out of some sort of slavery of your mind, or it could actually be maybe you were enslaved to somebody else, or as I said, slavery of the mind. Wake Me Up by Ed Sheeran, A New Beginning. That aha moment, that epiphany moment. San Andreas Fault, Natalie Merchant. And I know yesterday, so today's the 21st of January 2026. Yesterday there were a cluster of smaller earthquakes around the San Andreas Fault. Jericho by Inako. Again, that's got those themes of the city of Jericho, where they went around 7 times and then the walls came tumbling down. Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Turn, Turn, Turn by the Birds. Here Comes the Sun, A New Beginning. And the Sense8 theme. So if you've watched my readings for the past couple of months, if you're new, you're welcome to go back and watch them. But I've been looking at the journey of 3-Eye Atlas across the solar system, and where it hits the Eye of the Celestial Bull, which is the Royal Star of Persia, Aldebaran, forming this big arc of this rainbow, 8 people, a series of 8 trials you've been on. I just heard the 8 steps to freedom. But as it crosses across our sky, 3-Eye Atlas, and I believe that the points in our sky where it crossed have been very, very prophetic. But between now and then, we've got February 20, the Great Reset. We've got March 20, the equinox, the spring equinox. Again, this theme of a new beginning. Even within all of the things that are happening in the sky at the moment, NOAA, N-O-A-A, the National Ocean Atmospheric Administration, measuring what's happening in the sky and on the earth. So heaps of information coming through. Hopefully you get what you need out of these readings, and I will leave you here and I'll see you in the main part of the reading. Hi, this card is Venus. I'll pull it up nice and close so you can see. Pine cones in there, pineal gland, 3-Eye Atlas. We've also got the Venus symbol in there. And I've also, interesting, little eyes, so 3-Eye Atlas, symbolism of 3-Eye Atlas, but also symbolism of a cross. So what I was getting from this card, and I've actually had channel messages about this reading as part of this series of 8, is about the couples that are about to come into an alignment. Now these are divine couples, almost God's ultimate twin flame unions. It's got that return to the Garden of Eden energy. Aries, because we've got Neptune and Saturn, which are both leaving Pisces, which is the last sign in the zodiac. And they're returning to 0 degrees of Aries on the 17th of February. So it's the planting of the new seed, the new beginning, the do-over, I want to say, because I believe that these particular couples have had many lifetimes together and were almost there back in the beginning. Back in the beginning, potentially, of this age of Taurus, which would have been Egyptian. What I was getting was these are the dragon couples. So if you look at Aries as the start of the zodiac, it's where you plant your seeds, which brings in that reference of the Garden of Eden. Both parties have slayed the dragon. And if you look at your north node and your south node in your chart, it's the head and the tail of the dragon. So both people in their lifetime have conquered the dragon, and that is why they are coming together. And it draws into alignment these 4 royal stars of Persia. These are people who have very, very significant placements and alignments of the royal stars in their birth charts. So they're very connected to the 4 royal stars of Persia. Their union, I'm just reading my notes, their union creates a grand cross in the sky, St. George's cross, who slayed the dragon. Now, St. George was revered as the saint of divine military. So these are people that are representative of God's army. These 2 people within these relationships. Now, St. George's cross is the cross that you see on the Knights Templar, that big red cross that you see on the Knights Templar. Defender of the Holy Land, defenders of the Holy Vow, and defenders of the Holy Union. That's what these couples represent. And we've got this cross here, and we've got this pineal gland here, which is where you have effectively slayed the internal dragon. It's Phoenix rising from the ashes. Angel of light, angel of freedom. I'm going to pop him there. Now this is Sawillow, represented by the letter S, the sun, or the solar wheel. So if you think about a cross of these 2 people, and once they've both conquered their dragon, then that's when the wheel turns. Value is S, symbolized by the juniper tree, chamomile, mistletoe, the eagle, the lion, Leo, the sun, Sunday, the color yellow, and fire. Also symbolized by the higher self, again slaying the dragon, spiritual will, enlightenment, and divine blessing. And the sun is seen as the light of God. Really, really beautiful. Now, what I did do is I got some songs that came through for this reading. I'm just going to read them out. Ed Sheeran, Eyes Closed. Third Eye Chakra, which is just a healing vibration song. What I actually do is I put my songs on random shuffle. All Is Found by The Hound and the Fox. Aquaphobia by The Truman Show. Now, even in The Truman Show, he breaks out. He slays the dragon and he breaks out. Stay by Lisa Loeb. That's from Reality Bites. I don't know about this one, and I don't even know how it ended up on my playlist. Expensive Shit by Fila and Cutie. That might have relevance for somebody. I don't even know the lyrics of it. Written in the Stars by Elton John. Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Coming in from the Dark. Adelaide by Tales of Jupiter. Perfectly Imperfect. The Captain by Casey Chambers. And Marry Me. I want to show you, these are the 4 royal stars of Persia. So we have Regulus, which is represented by Raphael. Honor, leadership in the sign of Leo. Then we have Aldebaran, which is represented by Archangel Michael, which is God's army. That's in Taurus. So all of these readings have been symbolized in and around Taurus, and this themes of the arrow being shot. Michael is God's army. So it's power, leadership, integrity. Formalot, is the Watcher of the South. So north, east, south, west. Formalot, which is represented by Gabriel, revelation and prophecy. And then we have Antares, which is Uriel, God is my light. And we've got this representation of the sun and the wheel, which is in Scorpio, war and transformation. What I was getting from this was there's one person in this pairing who started out here and has ended up here, and one person that started out here and has ended up here. And in doing that, they've crossed over, and that's how the wheel turns. This union, this pairing doesn't come together. This blessing of this union doesn't come together until both parties have reached their collective, have reached their collective point of not collective point of achievement, that's wrong. Collectively, so the pair itself has to reach their destination before, it's like a cog, before it can crank over. Now, the other thing I did do is I went and had a look at some gematria. So if we're using a term for this, and I said before, God's ultimate twin flame union. Twin flame is 1111. And that's this year. This year is, in portal energy, is the year of 1. Because we've got the 10-10-10 portal. The 10th of the 10th, 2026 adds up to a 10. 10-10-10. It's also the Four of Wands, which is the marriage card, which is a union between the two. So 1111 and 618. 1111 in gematria. New age begins. Arrow. And Iran war. 618 is September, the golden age, pregnancy and dark night. Adam and Eve, if we're looking at the return to the Garden of Eden. 791 and 420. 791 is April Fool's Day, Holy Cross, which is what I've said. This beautiful union. The Holy Bloodline, handsome and fair, and 420 is Golden Age, fig tree, forbearing, patient, and enduring of ill. So two people who have actually been through the ringer, I want to say. Absolutely through the ringer. I don't want to get that first. I'm going to get one of these. Bear with me. And that's when they find each other. That's when they come into alignment. And there's something about birth charts here. I even want to say, because we've got the wheel here, that the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. It would be a Jupiter placement that aspects one of these 4 royal stars of Persia, or it will be where fortune lies in your birth chart and what it aspects. So the fortune is the circle, actually, even it's the circle with the cross in it. And where that aspects one of these 4 royal stars of Persia, tying up loose ends. That's what these pair have been doing. Tying up loose ends. Getting ready for union. And they may not even be aware of it. They may have just been on their own solitary solo journey. And what that's done, struggling with personality patterns, is it's brought them into alignment. Follow your gut. I've got lots. Frustration. Yeah, look at that. A new connection. It's bringing in this new connection. Guided by a higher power. Beautiful. That's really beautiful. Okay, let's have a look at what angel is guiding this couple. Oh, got number 8, delivers divine blessings against evil. And 29, liberation and defender of the spiritual truth. And number 18, helps with legal issues. That wanted to come out. On the bottom, we've got heals the sick. So somebody could have been caught in some sort of legal battle. Somebody could have been caught in some sort of health issue as part of slaying their dragon. Because the dragon in your birth chart is the north and the south node. The north node, is where you are headed. what you've got to achieve in this lifetime, but the South Node is what you've got to let go of in order to achieve it, or what you've got to slay in order to achieve it. Tying up loose ends, struggling with personality patterns, following your gut, so that's following your intuition, frustration, even if there is frustration along the journey, because it brings in this new connection. Soul guardian for those born 2:20 to 2:40 a.m. What have we got? Number 8 here. Moral guardian for those born the 27th of March, the 7th of June, the 18th of August, the 29th of October, and the 9th of January. And the physical guardian for those born the 24th to the 28th of April. That card is represented by the Ace of Pentacles. So that is a divine blessing in the 3D realm, but the Ace of Pentacles is something that happens slowly. It's a slow burn, and it's because these two individuals have had a big journey that they've each been on. Their dragon has been huge. The Ace of Pentacles, a divine blessing. Now that's Mars in Leo, which is, Leo is the dragon. And Mars is that slaying of the dragon. Soul guardian for those born 9:20 a.m. to 9:40 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the 17th of April, the 28th of June, the 8th of September, the 19th of November, the 30th of January. Physical guardian for those born the 7th to 11th of August. Now, this might not be the dates or times of your birth, but those dates might be significant in this particular journey for you. And this is the Justice card, which is balance, divine balance. Justice is ruled by Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus, which is this card here. So we've got bookending here. Venus, Venus, divine balance. And Venus is Empress energy. It's also Taurus as well. Venus is Taurus. So it's the shooting of this arrow. Soul guardian for those born 5:40 a.m. to 6 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the 6th of April, the 17th of June, the 28th of August, the 8th of November, or the 19th of January. And the physical guardian for those born from the 13th to the 17th of June. Again, those dates might not be your dates, but they could be representative of something within this connection, a milestone within this connection. So I'm going to use my Lovebirds Tarot. And I want an energy around this pairing. What is the energy, the current energy around this pairing? The Queen of Swords, that is Uranus. Uranus is the planet of earthquakes, so it's a separation. Uranus in Aquarius. In this particular deck, there is something that is a devil energy that's separating two people. But Aquarius, and we're in Pluto and Aquarius, which is revolutionary change, 20-year period of revolutionary change. We're also about to go into the North Node in Aquarius, which is collective point of destiny. And we're currently in Venus in Aquarius at the moment. So Venus in Aquarius, if you have that placement, it is about being true to yourself, but being very different, choosing a different path, choosing a different partner. These two particular people have got they come from two different lifestyles. She comes from a wealthy family. The guy that she is in love with works for her father, so he's deemed lower class. I was also getting Wuthering Heights. I've got that song waving through a window. Wuthering Heights, a theme from Wuthering Heights is two different social classes. Even we've got Bridgerton coming through, because you need to look at what's actually playing out in and around at the moment. 22nd of January today, Wuthering Heights comes out on the 12th of February, and that is about two people kind of blocked in the middle because they had their own spiritual journeys to go on. We've also got Bridgerton, which is a bit of a Cinderella story. So some sort of separation that's been at play. Okay, let's have a look at the energy that these individuals are in. If we were looking at them in the 3D, the Nine of Swords. I'm going to get two cards because we've got two people. The Ten of Wands. Okay, the Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini. And this is the Ten of Wands, which is Saturn in Sagittarius. Karmic lessons. So two people that are still almost tying up loose ends. I want to say frustration. Tying up loose ends. Didn't even realize that was there. Okay. I'm going to do 2 again here. What's happening in the soul? The Seven of Swords. That's the moon in Aquarius. Again, this Aquarius energy coming through. This particular card is about somebody who has found a way out. This deck, 2 people go on their own individual journey. They know that they're meant to be together. They know that there's a divine calling on their life. But they've both got to each go on their own individual journey. And they decide to meet each other on this bridge, knowing that it can mean their destruction. Her father chases them. But God sees that they've done the work and turns them into a pair of birds so they can fly away to their freedom. Liberation and defender of spiritual truth. Help with legal fees. Okay, so this is somebody in planning. Somebody in planning. Two of Swords, which is the moon in Libra, so it's hidden. And the Seven of Wands. And you can see the pair of them together, which is Mars and Leo. But do they belong to that? Let's have a look. See what we get. The Nine of Wands. Wow. And the Three of Wands. So somebody who wants movement forward but feels like they're stuck. Okay, the message from the man upstairs. The Tower. That's God coming in. And look, we've got a dragon in there. The dragon couple. So if we look at this image, if they get from one to here and from here to here, then it's God that actually turns the wheel. It's God that turns the wheel. They just have to get themselves to the point where that wheel turns and then the wheel is turned for them. They don't realize, because when she runs away and when he runs away, they do it independently. And it's when God sees, it's the story, let me get you a teacup and I'll show you. It's the willow tree design. And my grandmother, and it was interesting actually, because before I started this reading, I've got a little card of hers, and she was just staring at me. Little picture of her. But this deck was created because she gave me a set of teacups, 2 of cups. She gave me a set of teacups. And it's God who actually turns these 2 birds, because they do the spiritual work and break free. They slay the dragon. And so as a gift, divine blessings, as a gift, they're given the opportunity to come together because there's a divine plan on their life in terms of what they will contribute to humanity. Okay, the outcome. Yeah, they're being set free. The Five of Pentacles, they're being set free. That's Mercury in Taurus. Mercury is the planet of communication. And Taurus, if we go back to all of these readings, Aldebaran, which is where Three-Eye Atlas has been shot. Aldebaran lands on the bullseye on the 31st of May in Taurus. There's something about that, because that's the arc of the arrow. the covenant, which is the soul contract that these two have with God, because a covenant is a soul contract. So we've got the rainbow and the peace symbol, and they'll be set free. Caged birds, currently caged birds. Okay, 7 of Cups on the bottom. The 7 of Cups is Venus in Pisces. Let's get a Mother Mary energy on this. Let's see what comes through. That's too many. Wow. Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Mary's crown, the 12 stars. And Feast of Our Lady of the Rosary, October 7. I'm going to get one more. January 1st, Solemnity of Mary, the Mother of God. So those dates might have some significance for you. December 8th, October 7th, and January 1st. And the Feast of Our Lady of Sorrows, September 15. Okay, now I'm going to get 3. That was We Were Never Really Friends, but I'm not feeling it. Stand By Me, Benny King. Someone You Loved, Lewis Capaldi. Close to You, The Carpenters. And At Last, Etta James. Okay, let's get I Have Never Forgotten You. Serendipity. Coming together in God's timing, I want to say here. Take the First Step. Please Have Faith. This Is Tearing Me Apart. And Dreams. Might be dreaming about each other. I'm ready to leave my old life behind, which is actually what happened in that story. Okay, I'm going to get 3 final cards. Let's see what else we need to know about this dragon couple. 3 of Cups. Celebration energy. That's Mercury in Cancer, which is a card of communication. The Emperor. Aries energy. What want to come out then? Queen of Wands. Oh, look at that. And the 4 of Wands. That's the marriage card. That was twin flame 1111. And the 7 of Cups again. 2 sevens. 7, 7. 2 Venus in Pisces. Interesting. Anything else? Do I need anything else? Just going to get a guidance card. Death on the bottom. Death and rebirth. A new beginning. Sorrow. I've come to realize that losing something is like hitting the refresh button, giving me a shiny new perspective to treasure it all over again. And surrender. I can liberate my desire to wield control. We've got the Death card on the bottom. I am discovering that endings are simply the dawn of new beginnings. So that's what I've got for this reading. Thank you for joining me. If it resonated with you, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. All the best on your journey, and I will see you in another reading.